Hello class, how are you all? Class, I have come again with another worksheet, assignment number 10, and the topic of this worksheet is ionic bonding. It is a very interesting topic in which we see the movement of electrons from one element to another atom and ionizing the atoms and creating the strongest force of bonding between them. Whenever it happens, a new compound is formed which is called as ionic compounds, and ionic compounds are characterized by very unique properties because of their very high melting and boiling points, and they are good conductors of electricity because of carrying ions in them. But when they are in their solid state, they do not pass currents because the ions are not free in the lattices. But when we melt them or when we fuse them, or when we make their solutions, the ions become free and they start carrying currents. So today, with the name of God, I begin the discussion of MCQs. The first MCQ is, which change takes place when an atom becomes a positive ion? Remember, if I represent metal by capital M, whenever metal reacts, it has low electronegativity and high electropositivity. High electropositivity of a metal makes it able to lose its electron. And when it loses electron, it gets positive ion on it. So always remember, the loss of electrons or the removal of electron from any atom creates or generates a positive ion. The next is, which statement about a phosphorus atom are correct? So you see, this representation is telling us the number of protons and the nucleon number, the atomic number, the mass number, and we can predict the structure, its chemistry and everything, and in which period it must be placed in the periodic table or what would be its group number. So what options are given? Three things are given. That for phosphorus, which statements are correct? The nucleon number 16. No, it can't be, because nucleon number is the mass number and that is 31. Second statement, the number of outer electron is 5. Okay, when we write the electronic configuration, do we get 5 electrons in its outermost shell? At least you write it. I always advise you to write and command the electronic configuration of first 20 elements at least from the periodic table, and phosphorus is one of them. So you just write the electronic configuration once to get, if you are getting 5 electrons in the outermost shell, means you have done the correct thing. Third statement is the proton number is 15. So statement number 1 is totally, absolutely wrong statement. So I must be thinking about statement number 2 and 3. So what do you think? If you think the same, you encircle the correct answer. MCQ number 3. Element X is in the group 1 of the periodic table. Element X is in group 1. Group 1 means it has only 1 electrons in its outermost shell. The next information, that it reacts with element Y to form an ionic compound. Which equation shows the process that takes place when X forms ions? Whenever element X is forming ion, as it has only 1 electrons in its outermost shell, so the most favorable way to get it bonded with another element by losing this electron, and when electrons are lost, there would be a positive sign. So you select the correct answer. Number 4. The nucleon number and proton number of lithium are shown in this notation symbol, Li 3 and 7. 3 is its proton number, atomic number, and 7 is its atomic mass or mass number or nucleon number. When lithium gets ionized, it gets positive sign. this is lithium, and when lithium loses one electron, it gets positive ionized. So when electrons are lost, the number of proton and nucleon remains the same. So select the correct answer. MCQ number 5 is, which number is in the table is -1? So subatomic particles are mentioned and their charges are there. One column is for their relative masses. So if minus is there, it must be some charge. So B is obsolete, it's omitted. So we have to think for the charges on subatomic particles: electron, proton and neutron. And I'm very sure that you know this, where it should be placed. Now we see the theory section. The structure of sodium chloride and chlorine are shown below. You know, sodium chloride is the most common given example of ionic compounds, in which you can see that small positive sodium ions having positive charge on them are surrounded by larger size chloride ions, and in this crystal lattice they are tightly packed and they are attracted by all dimensions. They are surrounding each other. But we see this is the discrete unit of only 2 chlorine atoms. One unit has only 2 atoms which are covalently bonded. I cannot see any ion on any of the chlorine atom in the molecule. So you have to compare the structures and their types of bonding also. The first section is the melting point of sodium chloride is 801 degrees Celsius. I just figure out this very basic fundamental concept in the beginning of this worksheet, that ionic compounds are characterized or measured with very high melting and boiling points, and the melting point of chlorine is just -101. It's even is minus degrees. So what do you think? What should be the answer to satisfy this question? Because the types of bonding, it's the bonding between sodium ions and chloride ions which is very strong as compared to the molecular chlorine. When bonding is very strong, the melting point must be very high. The next is in terms of structure. In terms of structure is also given, the sodium chloride ions are present in a lattice, in a fixed pattern, and the bonding is ionic bonding, but I cannot see any crystalline lattice in the molecular chlorine. So you have to satisfy both of the points. The next is explain the molten sodium chloride conducts electricity, but the solid sodium chloride does not. The molten solid sodium chloride is able to carry out the current because of free ions, but in the solid state the ions are tightly packed. They cannot carry their electricity towards cathode and electrode. So just ink out your answers using this video lesson, and by reading the textbook, I am sure that this worksheet will be this discussion will be very helpful. Till I bring the next worksheet, you just practice this one and command on this topic to help your scores in the final exam. Thank you, class. God bless you and take care. And one more thing, you know that these videos are provided to you by using my channel Chemistry Master. If you have not subscribed it, kindly do subscribe and see all of the videos are there, all of the discussions are there, and I'm sure they will be very helping in getting command on these fundamental concepts. So do it and do support me in providing you more videos in future. Thank you, class. God bless you and take care again.